Hello, welcome to part two, a version that will not be interrupted, hopefully, by cell phone calls. All right, or anything else for that matter. In this video, we're going to talk about technology versus technology. So before we start, I have to define present and future. Okay, and this is going to be largely because of crypto. And cryptocurrency, I want you to understand something about crypto. Crypto more or less means hidden. And cryptocurrencies are probably a far more secure form of technology because the blockchain has hidden elements to it that have to be addressed each and every step of the way through it by either mining individuals, like in Bitcoin, which means that every different individual has a look at it, or the newer Ethereum type technologies, which do things in a random way. In other words, you have a community that puts together the particular platform, let's say an Ethereum platform or one of the other altcoins. All those altcoins, by the way, are their own platform. And so they're what's known as a community. And so members of that community get picked randomly, and then they go on their computer and verify these things, or they have a computer system that verifies these things so that they run. So, anyway, that's the difference. And how does that manifest itself? Well, what do we know about the present technology? You have a lot of things on the internet. Let's just go internet, and then we're going to go crypto internet. How's that? And I'll abbreviate over there. So on the internet, you have things like Twitter, right? Twitter, Facebook. You have things like Amazon, or Walmart, right? You have things like YouTube, or your bank, or you need to look for a good plumber, right? You have a Yellow Pages, and I'll just leave it at that. Let's just say Yellow Pages, right? A thing that we use around here, and I think a lot of people are starting to use it. They have this neighborhood app, like we live in we're here in the Sharpsburg community, let's say, or Hagerstown community, or West Virginia. So you'll have a next door Hagerstown or whatever, or next door. Oh, I'm telling you. Uh, um, well, let's say Martinsburg, West Virginia, or something. I'm getting old. I don't understand that. Starting to forget the names of the towns that I live near and see every day. But anyway, so you have all these uses for present day technology. What happens when you use them, though? What could happen? What are some of the negatives of Twitter and Facebook? What are some of these negatives? I'll just mention them. You have ads, constantly bombarded with ads. Google, same thing. Um, what else? You can get hacked, right? Especially if you make it an online purchase or something, you could be hacked. A lot of people get your personal information. I mean, everybody gets it. You can be censored, you know, government or whoever or the platform themselves can get rid of you and you know do nefarious things to you like that, silence your speech and what have you. A lot of these things can happen here, right? Who owns your information on these sites? Do you own the information from your bank? You can get on the bank and move money whenever you feel like it? No, they do. Who owns your Facebook page, you or them? They can get rid of it, or they can censor it, or they can throw ads on it. You go shopping somewhere, boom, you go on Facebook, and there's what you were looking for, or whatever, or what you were looking at. Sometimes they throw things on there that I don't even look at. So, maybe the company owns, I remember one time I was shopping for shoes, and I go on some other site, I forget what it was. I don't know if it was Facebook or something else. No, I know what it was. It was the ESPN app. I was looking at scores, and there's an ad for ladies' underwear, and I'm thinking, why the hell are they giving me that ad? And then I realized the shoe company and the pants company or whatever, and the ladies' underwear company were all owned by the same company. And they knew I was married, and I have one daughter, and it's like, okay, yeah, that's a stretch. But anyway, they own all that, and I mean, sometimes it happens within a matter of minutes. I was looking for insurance policies for health insurance because I'm going to be moving over to Medicare soon, and boom, I'm on YouTube, and there's a bunch of ads uh, pimping me for insurance. I mean, literally within 10 minutes. So this is an interesting thing that they can track you, they own your information, they can do anything. Um, you can make money on some of these sites, couldn't you? If you have trillions of viewers, or however that works. But then they run ads, ads you don't control. So, anyway, this is what I mean. What about the crypto internet? And that's how transformative this is. It's token based. And you know what? I've been on some of these sites. I've been on a site that actually they have their own YouTube version. They call it DTube. They have their own Facebook, Twitter thing there called So Me. I think that's what it's called. Social media So Me. Get it? Ah. Do they have an Amazon or a Walmart? I think they do, but I don't remember what it's called. But they have some sort of shopping. But guess what? When you use these sites, remember I posted a video yesterday. I think, all right, yeah, I posted it yesterday, or the day before, I can't remember now. I think it was yesterday, where the guy, the first video I showed, it was a series of 3 videos, and he's like, ha ha ha, are you going to develop a Cambridge token so people use your site? And, well, yeah, yeah. I mean, I think someday, and I'm going to make a video about this somewhere along in the future where I think this is going to go. I'm going to make a lot of videos in the future about where I think this is going to go and where it should go, where I think it should go anyway. But I think one of the things I see is that I eventually some of these platforms are going to either be on some sort of an Ethereum platform, like an Ethereum, a newer version of Ethereum that doesn't charge as many fees, or something like a Polkadot or a Cardano or a Stacks or Blockstacks, something like that that's much quicker and much cheaper. So some format like that. I think at some point that altcoins are going to be kind of converge into uh, decided on a currency, maybe a currency stream. I think maybe Bitcoin or whatever is going to be like the gold standard, like physical gold, and you're going to use it as an asset. You're not going to sell it so much as you're going to borrow from it or whatever. It's going to be like a baseball team. If you own let's say you own the Giants or the Dodgers or the Houston Astros or the Yankees or the Washington Nationals, the team out here, the Orioles or St. Louis Cardinals. Some of these teams are worth, how much are they worth? Hundreds of millions, maybe a billion, maybe more than a billion, right? You know, especially if they're good. So the owner of that team probably is going to borrow, if he needs money, borrow a couple million, 3 million, pay his bills. It's borrowed money. You don't pay taxes on it, so it's not earnings. You know, um, yeah. So that's what you're going to do with Bitcoin. So eventually, I think that's going to be a gold standard. I think they're going to have to develop maybe one or two or three of the cryptocurrencies that are going to be used maybe on all platforms. And I think that's one thing that's not really developed quite yet, but it's getting there. And so if you can use one or two or three different coins, what I call spending money, because I don't think we're going to be using fiat currency in the future. That's why I say that. I think the dollar bill, the yen, the yuan, the ding, the dong, the pound, the the feather, the cuckoo berry, you know, the guilder, the krona, the ruble, all these things are going away. I really do. I just don't see in the future when you have valuable money and when like I proposed before, when you can basically say to a government, I'm the bank, I'm loaning you your tax revenue, you have to live within your means. You're not printing your own money anymore. Um, I think we're going to reduce a lot of wars. We're going to have to be adults and actually talk to one another and not get into a fight like little children. I don't agree with you. Yeah. I mean, that's two 8-year-olds on the playground. And I mean, if that's how Congress and all the people that are very politically motivated want to act, I just assume elect 8-year-olds. They're cheaper. And I could babysit them a lot easier if you lock them in the Capitol, right? Anyway, um, but I'm just going on and on about nonsense now. So back to the topic. So if you have um, a government that's responsible and a citizenry that's intelligently involved in running the day-to-day operation, I think local authority is going to be more important, kind of like in the old Confederation days, where local people were just as important as the federal people. And you're going to be talking about issues now instead of calling each other names and coming up with ridiculous social tropes that you want to run and and pretend you're going to solve. Um, back when, side note, back when I was a kid, politics was not exciting. 12 years old, watching the news, watching a Democrat and a Republican talk, I had no idea what they were arguing about. It was very technical to me. They were arguing over which philosophy would work out better. And at the end of the day, it ended up being a compromise between the both of their ideas, and they both got credit for it. And that's how it worked. Today, so and so is stupid, let's riot. So and so is really a clown, you know, the other side, this side, the other side, and that's not going to end well. So, if we change our system, if we leave this system where only elites are in control and elites argue over one another, and then we have to join one of the teams, I root for the red team and I agree with these elites, and I root for the blue team and I agree with these elites, and these elites and the elites, and we're the fighters, and the elites sit there and collect the money. Now, in this system, everybody has a stake in it. Yeah, literally everybody. And politicians And those type of people are shaking in their boots over what we're going to do because we don't need them anymore. We need them to do specific things that we tell them we need. We need the country defended. We need business practices that are fair, people not getting ripped off. We need to be safe. And safe doesn't mean that you're safe from somebody who disagrees with you. It means you're safe from somebody who wants to riot and burn down your city. All right? And we don't need to go to foreign countries and occupy them or go steal the citizens of foreign countries and make them our janitors. We don't need to do that either. Those people have every right and dignity to live the way we live in this country, in their own country. And this is going to make that happen. So these are token-based areas, and I think at some point you're going to see tokens start to, okay, these are the top 4 or 5 tokens, and that's all we're going to use, and it's going to transform each and every system so that when you get on one of these systems, you're going to be able to use the same token as you can with maybe this system or that system instead of getting their own tokens. So I think that's how it's going to work. I know there's a Minecraft game called The Sandbox, and I'm going to try to get my kids to do that. But that's a game that's, it's like that, except you have tokens. And so if you're good at it and people play on your little sandbox, your land, the kids do that and it's popular. They can make money, actual money. On Minecraft, can't make any money doing that. I mean, they could. I'm told that they could, but most people who play on that don't. They just play on it. It doesn't cost them anything, and they don't make anything. So these are kind of neat systems. I think a lot of people are probably going to say, well, yeah, but everything costs money. Well, would you rather be controlled and live free? Because, using everything for free, you're going to get marketed to death. Eventually, you're going to have to buy something if you want to eat or live. You might as well spend a little money up front and then make passive income while you're asleep. If people use your ideas or look at your videos or whatever, they can do that here. But here you don't have you own, in each one of these, you own your own site. And if an advertiser goes on your page or your site, you make money for it. They got to pay rent. And so this is a much better system, I think, and it's a system that is on its way because we need to have our freedoms and our privacy guarded. And this system doesn't do it, but this system does do it. Anyway, thank you for watching. This has been Scott Montgomery with the Small Town Mercer, and I will see you next time. Have a blessed evening.